Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. It's me, Big Mike, and welcome to our playthrough, or perhaps the first episode of our playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club Side Stories. Now, Side Stories is an interesting feature that's kind of featured into Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. And the side stories are stories of friendship that are unrelated to the events of the main game. In each of these, we get to learn more about the characters, their interactions, and it's an interesting situation. But before I get more into that, I just need to throw up a couple disclaimers here. First, now the content of the side stories, it's not as heavy as the main game, so you're not going to there are not going to be any characters in mortal danger, either from themselves or from other people. There's not going to be really anything like that. However, there will be some heavy issues. There may be some heavier issues, like depression, self-harm, that might be touched upon, but nothing like in the main game. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're someone who's sensitive to that type of thing. Secondly, this is actually not my first playthrough of this. I did play through it once back in 2021 when the game first released. So I will not be going into this completely blind, but it's been long enough to where I can barely remember what happened. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, on a related note, I don't remember exactly how long these side stories are. I don't remember them being too long, but I don't know exactly. So I'm not exactly how long this video is going to be. I'm not sure what it's going to cover. It's going to cover at least, I think, one pair of these, but it may cover more depending on how long the individual parts are. So if it ends up being like really, really short, we may go for, two pairs. Now, something else, if you're new to my channel, then perhaps this might, this video might be a bit out of the ordinary, or it may not for me. It just depends on your perspective. So I used to do scripted content, and I hate using the word content. I used to do scripted videos, and I plan to return to doing it at some point in time in the future. But this video is not scripted, actually. This video is all raw, unnatural, off the cuff. So what you're going to be getting here is unfiltered, unedited Duck Daddy, baby. Now, with that in mind, I do keep my gameplay videos to be largely unedited, but there are some caveats to that. One, if there's a very long pause, I will cut that out. Two, if there's some technical issues, I will have to cut that out. So if you didn't watch my playthrough of the main DDLC portion of DDLC Plus, I'm running the Windows version of DDLC, but I'm running it on Linux, and there's kind of a weird quirk that happens there. So if I click outside the program will refuse to recognize my mouse inputs. So if that happens, I will have to quit the video, restart the game, restart the video, and so there'll be more than one video part to that, and I would have to edit that together. Now, I don't remember if the side stories have a save feature or not, but if they do, that's also why you may see me saving occasionally. Now, I'm not so sure how these videos are going to go, how many they're going to be, if it's going to be all in one. Which is a possibility, not likely, but it's a possibility, just depending on the length, or if they're going to be multiple parts, which is probably more likely. How many of those multiple parts is still up in the air. But I do want to just kind of throw out that we are getting close to Sage time, the Sonic Amateur Game Expo, and so which is a very important time in my life, a very important time of the year for me, and I do want to do some videos related to that. So with that in mind, if this does span across multiple videos, episodes may not be out every week because of that. But considering nothing crazy happens, this playthrough will get finished. Alright, and with that out of the way, let's jump into the world of DDLC side stories. And the first pair that's up is Trust. And it looks like it's going to feature Monica and Sayuri. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I miss debate club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. Well, I can only imagine how it must be for her, to leave a well-established club, because she was in the debate club, and she was very high up in the debate club. I think either president or vice president. To leave that well-established club because of the political issues surrounding it, to start her own club, it must have been a very hard experience for her. And to go from the very top to start all the way back at the bottom again has to be a very difficult situation to find yourself in. Well, I guess there's really no have to be about it. Speaking from experience, I know for a fact it is a very difficult situation to find yourself in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica is the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody is into literature enough to pick it over their other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. A vision. It's rather interesting. I picked this up from somewhere, and I think it was Family Guy. But there was an interesting discussion between Peter and an inmate when he was in prison. And the prisoner said something to the effect of, no matter what you think your job is, you're working in sales because you're always selling something or you're always selling yourself. And it looks like that Monica may be in that type of situation where she's trying to sell a vision. She's trying to convince people to invest their time, which is a very precious commodity, by the way. Time is a very precious resource that we will never get back once it's gone. So trying to convince people that you or your vision, in Monica's case, which is the literature club, is worth investing their time, it seems like it could be a tough sell. But let's see if our favorite girl can do this. But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Well, I will have to fold there, fam. I do, as someone raised in the South, going to sleep on them hot summer nights to the sound of an AC blaring, like a window unit, that white noise can do the trick, can really, really do the trick sometimes. Um, Hello? Huh, I wonder who this is. It's Sayuri! Imagine waking up to that sight. Imagine waking up to that sight. Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I never do this. Is this the napping club? No, this is. Monica pauses suddenly, embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club. And I do think this is a really interesting dynamic. You have Airhead, well, comes off as an Airhead, Sayuri with her bright, cheery smile, and you have confident, pure to be confident leader, slightly embarrassed by this. This is the literature club. Yay! I thought I got it wrong for a sec. I'm super sorry. It was like so unprofessional of me to do that. And that does sound like Monica. Monica seems like somebody who would always try to be professional in every single thing that they do. Monica, now that I think about it, Monica kind of reminds me of a girl I used to know in college. She was a very, very nice girl, a very good friend of mine. But she would always reply to everyone as Mr. or Mrs. Like whenever she would talk to me, she would always call me Mr. Mike, for example. Or she would talk to one of her other friends. She would call her Mrs. ... I kind of feel like Monica would probably be like that too. Don't apologize. I do that all the time. Oh. Did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? See, Sayuri, like I mentioned this in my DDLC main game playthrough, Sayuri, I feel like she is smarter. She is much smarter than what many people give her credit for. I feel like, I was just kind of joking when I mentioned this at first, but as the game goes on, as we see this extended universe, I feel like there's a lot of truth to the fact that Sayuri is not an airhead, really. I mean, she comes off as this Phoebe from Friends type of gal, but I think behind that bow and that beautiful smile, I think there's a mastermind behind all of that. And that's she makes a great point. If there are only two members and Monica's the president, then there's a very good chance that Sayuri could be the vice president. Then Monica asks, what are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Monica does not look like she's taking that too kindly either. Like, look on her face. Oh man, it almost looks like she's about to cry. Like, it almost look Monica almost. She has this very sad look on her face. Oh. I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayuri. Okay, Sayuri. I've been trying really, really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. Oh. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you there, Sayuri. I know you're not the same Sayuri as in the main game, but I think deep within you, you have a very strong leader. I'm sure that Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayuri. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing and you should be proud of it. So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so? Ha ha ha. Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayuri. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica. That's such a cool name. Oh, so I see Sayuri is a Monica simp too. See, I knew there was something good about Sayuri. I knew. See, you can always tell where a person stands at by their love of Monica. Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. It seems Monica knows how to see through flattery. But you're smiling. Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it. So, what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. Like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. Haha. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? That's kind of an interesting thing to ask. I guess so. Hey, well, maybe you can have all the hugs you want, sweetie. All the hugs and more, Just name the time and the place. Oh yeah, the Monica Simpin is so back, fam. We are so back. Sayuri suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug, then lets go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayuri whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy. Well, I will say I think Sayuri brings up a great point, Sometimes people just need a hug. Sometimes people just need to feel love in their lives. Love, that human contact. That warmth is, something a lot of people will take for granted, but it's also something a lot of people wish they had. And your life will be noticeably different without it. But a hug, like, a genuine hug, even from a stranger, it can make the difference. Monica laughs. Although Sayuri is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayuri, to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she is the first to arrive in the classroom. But she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayuri. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayuri changed her mind about joining. Oh man. Well, it is interesting to see that Monica struggles with these doubts. You know, it's a very human thing. Very human, sometimes when you have plans, you go to meet you go to meet someone and maybe they're a little late, your mind always goes to the worst possibilities. And it's a very human thing for that to happen. Not sure why that happens, but it's a very human thing and appears to be almost a universal thing that happens as well. And unfortunately, that appears to be what's going on with Monica right now. No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly, Sayuri comes bounding. Suddenly, Sayuri comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. It's okay, welcome back. And Sayuri spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet into Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a poem. Take my hand. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step so I can look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayuri? Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, I love that look on her face. I always love the greater than, less than sign. I don't know what that's called, but I always call it the greater than, less than face. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new members. Oh, so this is what you wanted to show me. But I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as it as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. And yeah, I will fold there, fam. I will fold there, fam. A lot of writers, a lot of artists, and oftentimes myself, it's cliche to say, but oftentimes you will hear people like that say that they're the toughest critic, and I believe there's a lot of truth to that because I'll read something, I'll make a video, I'm like, damn, is that really good? Is that really something that I should put out? And then I'll get comments that'll say, "Oh hell yeah, I enjoyed your video. Oh, I love this. I loved how you talked about this type of topic or something of that nature." And you know, it's a strange thing, really. It really a human perception, especially a human perception of ourselves, especially our output, not just our art, but also things like our voices. It's sometimes it can be so off-putting to ourselves for some reason. And I'm not sure why that is, but it's a fascinating thing. Like if you talk to a lot of people who make videos, often one of the biggest hurdles they have to get over, or also people who stream as well, they have to get over, is just listening to the sound of their own voice. It's a crazy thing. But anyway, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be, or something like that. Oh, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. That's what I love. That's why I love Sayuri, fam. Sayuri, damn. Motivational speaker Sayuri. Good friend Sayuri. I guess you're not wrong there. But it just goes to show that even somebody who appears to have a lot of confidence like Monica, sometimes they could use a little encouragement too. I need to set a good example of whatever. I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? Like sharing poems we write and stuff like that. Oh yeah! I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's in a poem, right? Yeah. I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So I'm glad you showed me, well, even though it was by accident. Oh, me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. And I mentioned this when I did my Doki Doki Literature Club main story playthrough, but yeah, showing your work as an artist for the first time can be a very difficult thing to do. It doesn't matter if you're a writer, you're a painter, what have you, it can be a bit embarrassing because you don't have your confidence quite yet. And confidence is one of those things that, you can't really learn it from somewhere. It has to come from yourself. It has to come from experience. So the more you do it, the easier it gets. I'd love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? Oh, my brain stormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. Damn, that is so Sayuri coded, fam. My brain is a natural disaster. Oh, damn. My brain is a natural disaster. I love that. And just the look on her face when she says that. Like, when she said, my brain is a natural disaster. I mean, it is a bit kind of fucked up to think about when, you think of the events and Doki Doki Literature Club, but or how she is in Doki Doki Literature Club, the main story at least. Sayuri, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry. Well, damn, that's classic Sayuri right there, fam. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when would we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm like kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds? People would come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Oh, nobody would do that. That would be mean. But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see. The next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. You know, I feel like there's some foreshadowing here, having, and I guess to be fair, if you play in DDLC side stories, there's a very high probability you played the main game first. But I feel like, the first one is definitely foreshadowing Natsuki, and this one is definitely foreshadowing Yuri. Yuri the character, not Yuri the girl love genre. I don't think I get it. Like going around the school and finding people who are reading books, like in the morning or during lunch. And we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How would we know if they're just reading for fun? Well, we could ask them. Well, okay, I will say, Monica raises some good counterpoints, but I really appreciate the fact that Sayuri's trying, and I feel like as somebody who I kind of find myself a lot of times in a situation like Sayuri's in. Sometimes my ideas may not be the best. I may not necessarily have, people may not necessarily agree with how I see things or how I look at things or my approach. But, at least, you're putting forth effort, man. At least you're putting forth effort. And, I can respect that. But then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Or, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful! Actually, it's really cool because I've actually used that phrase in real life before. So, well, oftentimes Mike will get in the way. Mike gets in the way of Mike. Mike gets in the way of people around him, even when he's trying to help. But on the off occasion when things happen, not despite Mike, but because of the help of Mike, I like to pull out that phrase, I'm useful. I am kind of a naturally clumsy person. I'm like 6'3", and I live in a country that's made for people significantly shorter than me. So that's just like the stuff of like a situational comedy. But anyway, I never said you weren't. I just need to think, What will we tell people when handing them out? I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayuri, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, I love the dynamic here. I love the dynamic here. Like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I don't know if the microphone picked that up or not, so I'll just read it regularly. Literature is stupid. But I do love that pouty face of hers. It's so adorable. I'm joining the anime club. Oh, now she sounds like somebody we know. What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Huh. I wonder who that friend could be. Okay, what if I said that we do group reading and discuss it together? I would probably nap through that. That's you, Sayuri. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayuri? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I think that's really insightful, actually. You know, and it actually sounds like something that Yuri would say, to be honest. I do think when we're talking, sometimes it's hard for the words to come out, especially when you're in a situation where you're in a situation with a lot of weight. Like maybe you're telling somebody that you love them. You're telling somebody that you don't want to be with them no more. You're talking about some heavy shit. Maybe you're telling somebody that they can no longer work for you anymore. It's not a, words don't always come out of your mouth so easy. And sometimes writing them down, it can make the difference. It can make the words flow easier because you don't have that added stress. Also, it can be really good if word choice is very important. And sometimes word choice can be very critical. Like, just imagine, for example, you have your significant other with you, right? And they say like, "Oh, I love you." And how would they react if you said, "Oh, I like you too"? Like and love, there's some overlap there, but, in that context, may give the wrong idea. So word choice would be very important to use there. That's just an example, but writing can help. And I do agree with what I do think Sayuri is onto something great here. I mean, we all have so many faults and feelings that we just don't get to share, It's like intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. Oh. See, I knew it was this kind of club, fam. I knew it was this kind of club. I knew from the very start that the literature club got down like that, fam. Okay, that's kind of. I'm just kidding. Okay, okay, she was joking. She was joking there. Oh my gosh. What is it? I forgot all of my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. That is so Sayuri. That is so Sayuri. Rushed? But weren't? Ah, never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then? I'll forget it if I don't do it now. Well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. Sayuri dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Wow. That's lame. That's... Whew, Monica. Oh, speaking of Monica, Sayuri says, Monica! Ah, you startled me. Sorry, but it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Yeah, let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom with Sayuri leading the way. This way. You don't have to run. Sayuri leads Monica over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. See? In there. Monica peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. Oh, don't worry, Monica. I'm sure if it's the girl I'm thinking of, I'm sure she's into this. So, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I would probably scare her anyway. Okay, fine. I'll do it. Fine, we'll do that. Monica takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. And she does look really embarrassed. Oh my god. Like the look in her eyes, the look on her face. Like she's blushing. She looks like maybe we got some sweat going on. Yeah. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kinda just left the flyer on her desk and then walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the club room, Sayuri feeling rather accomplished, and Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sayuri resumed their strategy meeting. They discussed various different kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. After going through Sayuri's list and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than from where they began. Well, would you say today was pretty productive? Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's that? Sayuri peers at a sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself, join the literature club. Right the way into your heart. That's so cute. I thought it was a little overdramatic. But Sayuri pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go. And it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me. It helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of it deviating from that. The vision. What's the vision? It's. Monica pauses to think. She shakes her head to herself. I don't know. I just want everyone to. Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayuri taps her fingers against a sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart. I think what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course. But I'm here to help you. Monica returns Sayuri's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really going to make this the best club ever. Sayuri nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayuri breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me. You're the president. Aha. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sayuri beams and grabs her fangs. You can go on ahead. I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's all right. I just want some alone time. In that case, Sayuri waves enthusiastically at Monica. Good luck. Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayuri spins her way out of the classroom. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayuri, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. Because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be perfect. Oh, shit, fam. So, I feel... Damn. So, I feel what's happening here is... Monica is in a situation where she feels like she has to be perfect. You know, if we take into consideration the events of the DLC, you know, the main character talked about how she was good at everything. Like she's academically on top of her game, athletically on top of her game, artistically on top of her game, socially on top of her game. And now I don't know if she's like that. We're never told if she's like that because she chose to be, or if it's because maybe her parents. You know, this game it's set in Japan, but you know, in a lot of in East Asian and even Southeast Asian culture, there's a lot of pressure put on children to be perfect, to be outgoing. And maybe that's why Monica is, or maybe this is a maybe she set like an unrealistic ideal for herself that she has to be perfect in everything, or maybe it's other people's perception of her. Maybe she has this reputation from somewhere as being perfect, and now she feels like she has to live up to that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but regardless, this idea that she has to be perfect is weighing down on her. It seems like. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayuri leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, 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 so pretty in my hair. Pluck, 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 you're going to die, and you too. Beneath my feet a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that's why I've decided I must become the flower. No, damn. That's damn. That's something. That is definitely something. Hmm. Now I wonder what that could mean, though. I wonder what that could mean. I wonder, and I might be reading into this a little bit. I wonder if this is when she was wrestling with her feelings over the main character from the the main story. And in the main story, she has feelings for the main character, but she doesn't really want to express them because of fear she things will change. So could this be an expression of that? Because she wants the flowers, she picks the flowers, but when she picks the flowers, it kills the flowers. What the? Wait, Sayuri? Oh, and I guess that's the end of that side story. All right, so let's go to Trust Part 2. Another day passes in a Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for the day's club task, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? So I think Monica is starting to pick up on the mental struggles that Sayuri has. And I feel like she picked up, like, after reading that poem, a lot of the things that she witnessed from Sayuri is starting to make a lot of sense. How Sayuri always tried to make her laugh, always so silly. And, we normally don't think of those things as going with depression, but sometimes some of the people who are the funniest, some of the people who like making other people laugh the most, or sometimes those who are the most depressed, like Robin Williams is probably the classic example of that. Um, but yeah, and I think this is starting to hit Monica. Monica's starting to realize that because Monica, you know, she's smart. She's an intelligent girl, and I'm not simping on her. That's not Mike simping on her, but in universe, she is, she's rather intelligent. This whole time, I didn't think to ask her about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayuri enters the classroom with her usual smile, but upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayuri responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayuri mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayuri nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayuri isn't ready to share certain things. But, as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I mean, that is a catch-22 right there, fam. That is a catch-22. You know, on the one hand, it's very difficult to see your friends go through something. It's very difficult. But on the other hand, until they're ready to talk about it or to get help, there's really only so much you can do. I can't really say that, but when somebody's going through problems, when somebody's dealing with mental health issues, depression, or maybe even addiction, it's important to want to be there for them. It's important, you want to be there for them. That's valid. And any good and loving person should want those things. But also until they're ready to talk about those things or to get help with those things, there's only so much you can do, and that's a very difficult situation to be in. And I don't envy Monica at all here. I really don't. Um, I had to drink a sip of coffee on that one. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay, I understand that you don't want me to worry. And I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But, can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in a way that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayuri smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayuri's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? I love Sayuri's expression there. But what about recruitment? It's fine. We have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise. You know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You kinda just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. Oh. Yep. My good friend Honk Flaps, who's my manager and who I sometimes call Honk Flap the Wise, one of her favorite sayings is perfection is the enemy of the good. And I think that's the point that Sayuri's getting at here. Perfection oftentimes, gets in the way of us accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish. Don't get me wrong, it's good to have high ideals. It's good to, try to do your best. But if you want perfection, then maybe what you're trying to do may never get done. And I think that's what Sayuri is getting at here. She's telling Monica, hey, you got to set aside your ideals, your perfectionist ideals, and you just got to get something done. And that's also a very good tip when it comes to writing. Starting to write, you may not feel comfortable with what you're putting out at first, but it's much easier just to write your idea down on paper and then go back and edit it, fix it up, remove some stuff, add some stuff, but get your main thoughts down first. Just getting the ball rolling can be the toughest thing, but once you get that momentum behind you, it becomes so much more easier, fam. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first, then make it sound pretty later. See? See, Sayuri already sounds like a great writer. It's like, it's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. Damn, that's actually pretty damn insightful. That's actually a pretty good mental image. That's a damn good mental image. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. And that's true. Every writer has their own methodology. Every writer has their own approach, just like every artist does. There's no right or wrong way, but if you're somebody who likes to write or to draw or whatever, experiment. Find what works best for you. But it's a really good way not to get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up on how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. I'm just kidding. Monica scribbles out, "You idiot," after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just... Well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites, "You idiot." She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact same thing anyway. Well, I will say, old habits, it's a bit cliche to say, but old habits do die hard. It's not impossible. I do not agree with that old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I do definitely believe that old habits do die hard. It's understandable that she'd be like that. This is really going to take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks, I do too. Me, I mean. But also, you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking. But after a while, with Sayuri's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Phew. Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayuri beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it! Monica and Sayuri proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club, not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one in the club room. With her is a printout of the revised Literature Club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayuri came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart, but the message being delivered that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayuri had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be the president if I can't even demonstrate that the club is supposed to be about? How am I supposed to be the president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form, but with that the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. The debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. So it seems like maybe Monica is a person who lives more on the outside, she's perhaps maybe not a very reflective person. Whereas perhaps maybe Sayuri is. Sayuri may be a more self-reflective person. Um, it's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself. For real. Monica pours out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Oh, that reminds me of her writing tip of the day from DDLC. One of her tips says that if you keep your pen in the same place for too long, it will form a puddle. So it's best just to keep writing. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her fingers across it. As she does, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes, "This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain." Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayuri approach her desk and then stop for a second, probably reading a piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard on the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayuri takes the sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course, you can trust me with anything. Sayuri gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayuri's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. So, sometimes I want to die. And knowing that comes from Sayuri, and knowing we know from the events of DDLC, oh fuck, fam, that's heavy. That's heavy. Um, but if there's any good thing that we can take away from this, and I'm not trying to make light of this situation, I am definitely not trying to make light of this situation at all. But if there's any good thing that can be taken away from this situation, is that at least with this, it seems like it shows trust. She has trust in Monica. And now, don't get me wrong, there are other and more positive ways she could show that trust. But this shows trust, that there's trust between them. And so, but damn, bro, it is still, it's heavy. It's heavy. And to know the kind of person she is and the struggles she has, it's not easy. Sayuri. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayuri takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. But even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't. You don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday. I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayuri must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayuri needed? Sayuri's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of faults that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayuri pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayuri pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me that? You're not worried I'll be one of those people too? I'm worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It made me feel like I could say it in confidence and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is the only two people. It's so silly. The club is only two people, but it already means this much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart, a feeling of connection as Sayuri's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayuri. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But, if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayuri rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayuri's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that all of the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayuri's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me. She suppressed a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good enough at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it, I hate it. The more Sayuri speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these faults. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. As soon as Sayuri loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayuri needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort. But she knows, Sayuri said it herself, that the faults Sayuri experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayuri battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value to me and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayuri doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gentle nod. No more words are needed between them.
The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayuri take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayuri lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Mm-hmm. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayuri nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course it'll always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing you would. Sayuri suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired. And hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up to it. No, I won't to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Oh, I wonder who that could be. And that is where we're going to stop here for today, fam. So, yeah, so I think we'll keep these videos at one set or one pair of stories per video. Um, you know, this actually, man, it's. I came into this series thinking I was gonna make a lot of jokes about Yuri, like Yuri the genre, because this series or these stories, they're not. You're not gonna see any Yuri love fest here. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Okay, but there are a lot of scenes like the hugging scene between Monica and Sayuri that it's not very hard to imagine being Yuri. Um, and I came into this thinking I was gonna make a lot of jokes about that, but man, just the emotional lead up to that scene, I couldn't bring myself to do that. I couldn't. Um, it was just being so familiar with these characters and having such a long history of playing DDLC. Um, it's seeing the characters go through that, kind of have that catharsis. Like if that could have happened in the main game, like if she could have had that connection in the main game with Monica or any other character, then man, I mean, I guess Monica was going to do what she was going to do anyway in the main game, but it's interesting to think that maybe she wouldn't have done the thing she did. Um, but yeah, this was a great story. I love the focus. I love the focus here on Monica and Sayuri. They have a very good dynamic together. I think as leaders of the club, they have a very good dynamic, and they almost at first on the surface, what gets me about them is they have almost opposite personalities. Monica's serious. She's serious. She's perfectionist, and you have Sayuri, who's at least appears carefree. She appears. She makes mistakes. She walks into things. She wakes up late. I mean, we know why she wakes up late, but still, she wakes up late and stuff. But beneath the surface, you know, Monica struggles with confidence. Monica struggles under the weight of perfection. Um, and whereas, Monica also, struggles to express herself, where Sayuri is the exact opposite. She seems like she doesn't have a problem expressing herself. Now, she doesn't like the things she expressed, like the faults. She said it didn't belong there. She didn't like that, but she doesn't have a problem. So they have a really interesting dynamic. Um, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen now the next club member joins. Um, and I'm interested to see who this next club member is going to be. Um, I have no clue. Well, I mean, I can't say that. I think it's obvious who. When you look at the list of side stories, I think it's obvious. But we're gonna pretend like I have no clue. Um, but anyway, this has been an interesting experience. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on DDLC side stories. Um, yeah, and I look forward to coming back to this again. For the next set. Um, but before I go, I just want to give a special thanks to all my friends, and my friends from Twitter, my friends from Blue Sky, my friends from Discord, my friends, some who found me on Reddit. I want to give a huge shout out to Zarkon, who inspired a lot, who inspired a great deal of my playthrough, a great deal of my visual novel playthrough. I also want to give a huge shout out to Crundle, who's a fantastic streamer and all around fantastic blue spaceman. I learned a lot from gameplay from his streams. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Honk in the West, Honk Flap, my amazing bestie and all around damn good goose, and the rest of the bird cult. I wouldn't be here without them. Also, want to give a special thanks to Fran, who does a wonderful job of doing my art. I have no idea what Fran is up to now. I need to reach out to Fran at some point in time, or try to. And yeah, also if you watch this video and you watched it all the way through, thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate that. And you are a hero, fam. You are my hero, and it means the world to me. So with that out of the way, I have nothing else to say but. Oh, okay. With that out of the way, I have nothing else to say but remember, fam, in the world that's constantly trying to change you, remember, just be yourself, and Big Mike knows and Big Mike believes in you that you'll just be awesome. Peace out!